What is happening, guys? It's GM Cody, and welcome back to another video about our Dunderland War Imagi-Nations campaign that I'm playing with my buddy Andrew. And this is actually an after-action report of one of the battles we fought, I guess that was last week. So, just to give you guys a recap of what is going on here in the campaign, if we look at this map here, so I should have brought up the map actually with all the moves on it. Let me see if I can bring that up real quick. Well, anyways, I'll just explain what is going on here. So, essentially, what happened is we had 3 battles that ended up occurring here in the second turn. So this is the second week of April 1757 in the Dunderland. And one of the battles was supposed to take place here in Eldsbrick because I had a column moving in, he had a column moving in, and we were supposed to fight a battle here. Now, after Andrew did his scouting rolls here, he realized that he didn't want to fight a battle here because he was outnumbered almost 2-1, and he decided to evade a battle because he was on the other side of the river. He got a bonus for that, and he was able to evade, and so he evaded towards the south, which we took care of in turn 3. Now we fought the naval engagement here outside of Middendorf, the little naval engagement, which you guys already saw that battle report, and we have a larger engagement to fight here next turn, turn 3, and we also had a battle here in Mangerhausen. If you remember right, I moved my whole, basically, division up here towards Ernstwald, or in that direction, and he moved his column up from Rheinsold at the same time I was scouting down with my cavalry. My cavalry bumped into him, realized, oh shit, this is a pretty sizable force. Went back to Mangerhausen and held up in the fortress there. And basically the story goes that my hussars of this cavalry division trotted off to tell the general of this column, hey, there's a much larger force. They're marching on the borders of eastern Brautenheim, and that we don't have much to defend this fortress. So that is the scenario that we are playing. And I'm just going to do the video live this time instead of trying to edit it down or anything, and just make commentary over while I'm playing the video. That seemed to work out fine last time, except last time I actually edited the video down. This time I'm just going to rewind through the video. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. So you can see the fortress there. This is the fortress outside of Mangerhausen. To the south there, you can actually see the town, the town of Mangerhausen, the fortress, and Andrew's forces, the Forces of Morovia, commanded by General Blixa von Gilder, outside the fortress, ready to assault the fortress. Now, inside the fortress, I had a unit of militia, because I figured there's got to be somebody patrolling, holding this fortress, and a unit of dismounted dragoons, and there was one militia gun, cavalry, militia artillery battery there. And the general of the cavalry division took over command of the units in the fortresses, and they're waiting to get relief from the larger column here, which I can't remember who's commanding this column, but this larger column here coming in, hopefully to relieve them. And you can see this is over here on the side table, this is a pretty sizable force. So I believe Andrew had the first turn, and he was deciding what to do. So we're going to skip ahead here. So basically, this battle really was a problem for Andrew's forces, the Forces of Morovia. He had a lot of command and control issues, and that's really what it boiled down to, is the dice rolls were really lousy. So in Black Powder, the way it works is it's the same system as War Master, if you've ever played that. If not, basically you have commanders of your brigades, your divisions, and each of those commanders have to make a command roll if you give a unit an order. Now, if they fail their command roll, usually they can't do anything, and you cannot issue any more orders to anyone else in that brigade. Now, so this, so that's how it works. And if you roll equal to your command value or one less, I believe you can make one move. If you roll two less, you can make two moves. Three less, you can make three moves. Now, the catch to that is you have to state your orders before you move. So you can't say I'm moving like to the other side of that bridge, and that would be only one move, when in fact you rolled three under and get three moves. It doesn't work that way. So you have to state what you're doing before you do it. So the first thing the Moravians did here is they moved their cavalry in because they had a general idea of where they knew a relieving force was coming, and they knew the general direction they were coming in. So he moved his cavalry over here into the town of Mangerhausen. Let me rewind just a little bit. He moved his cavalry over here to block the entrance of the relieving force coming into the town. And he's got a unit of cuirassiers and dragoons, I believe. And so he decided to move them into the town in an attack column in hopes to kind of stopgap, my relieving forces from relieving the forces in the fortress. And his whole strategy was he knew a relief force was coming, and he had to take the fort as quickly as possible and turn around and fight another battle, or get the hell out of there, one or the other. And there's one bridge across this river. The river's not crossable, but there is two fords as well. Now, we ruled that crossing the bridge is no problem, but you have to cross in a column, so you can cross in an attack column. We thought that was fair. Now, the fords are a different story. They actually slow down your movement, as well as you can only move across in a column. So anyways, he moved his cavalry units across here into the town, and then he decided he was going to start trying to lay down some fire before, well, I think he was actually going to assault, and he failed all his command rolls. So once you fail one command roll, that's it. You can't do anything else for that brigade. But he decided he would open up with his artillery, at least in the shooting phase. Now, his infantry, I believe, was out of range and could not do any supporting musket fire. But he did open fire with his artillery into my artillery. And he didn't get any hits, but he did cause a disorder. Now, this is my turn one. I didn't really do too much. My reinforcements did not come in this turn. I rolled randomly. I think on the first turn it was a 5+. Second turn to be a 4+, etc., etc. is the way we decided to resolve it. But I did move up my dragoons in support here, and yeah, that's about it. And I did open fire here with the artillery, and I'm not sure if, again, I don't think my infantry was in range, but you can see my artillery opening up on his grenadiers here. Now, he's got 2 regiments of grenadiers and 3 units of line infantry, and doesn't look like I scored any hits with those rolls. And I guess I was just in range with the dragoons. Okay, so I did open fire with the dragoons. I did score a couple hits there, or at least one hit, it appears. Well, I guess I didn't get any hits because he made his morale save. So after you rolled a hit, you also get a morale save after they rolled a hit. And it looks like his grenadiers passed his morale save. Now it looks like his line infantry in the front did take a hit, probably from my militia in the front. And then on his moving on to turn 2, the Moravian turn 2, Andrew decided he was going to go ahead and make his assault. And again, the command rolls did not go so well for him. So he decided he was going to assault with his grenadiers and his line infantry. You can see he's got his infantry lined up really well where they're all going to be supporting each other. And you really want to support, especially if you're going to assault a fortification like this, because the defender gets a tremendous bonus to their combat results in a close combat situation. So you have to have supports, and they will give you a bonus as well for each additional support you have. So he had a good idea going here. The dice just were not in his favor. So he was able to assault with his grenadiers, and then he was able to assault with this infantry regiment in the front here. And then he felled the rest of his command rolls. And that was pretty much it for the rest of his commands. I think he did try to open up with his artillery again. Was not successful there. His cavalry just held their position. I don't know what we're discussing here. Something about his cavalry. And then we went to the hand-to-hand phase. Now, this did not bode well for the Moravians either, because he did not have support, and I'd get a automatic +3 on my combat results because I'm in a fortification. So he did end up getting some hits, and I got some hits. I don't remember. We'll see here in a minute how many hits I actually scored on him. If he didn't pass his morale saves. Okay, so the infantry regiment definitely took another hit. So they have 2 hits on them now, and my militia took 2 hits. The dragoons managed to fight off, the dragoons and the artillery managed to fight off the grenadiers. Now, I won the combat, even though we had the same amount of hits, just because I'm in the fortification. And so he had to make a morale test because of the loss of the combat. And then what ended up happening, I believe, is that his infantry regiment had to fall back, and his grenadiers ended up becoming disordered from this combat, but they didn't take any hits. And that was that. Now, my militia unit was actually shaken because of the fight, and they took an additional hit. His unit was shaken too, but they were the ones that had to fall back. And his grenadiers held their ground. Now, on my turn 2, or I think this would be my turn 2. I don't think I got reinforcements this turn. We had another close combat between the grenadiers. I think my militia did open up on him, but I don't think they scored any hits. Okay, so turn 2, I did get reinforcements. So turn 2, what happened is I got reinforcements. The first thing I brought in was my cavalry, so my dragoons charged into his dragoons, and my hussars came up in support. And then I started moving my infantry in. So my grenadiers started coming in, and I think after this I probably felled a command roll after this movement here. So the grenadiers started marching in and going for trying to get across the ford, while the cavalry, we had this big cavalry battle here. What ended up happening with the cavalry battle, which we'll skip past it just a little bit, is he actually did end up winning the fight here. I did get a disorder on him, but he managed to get a lot more hits on me, and he managed to drive me back. And then what ended up happening is Andrew realized, oh crap, I'm not getting in my command rolls. This is really turning out to be a disaster. My infantry's getting really beat up here. I already have a unit that's shaken. I'm not going to be able to take this fortress quick enough while my reinforcements come in. So he decided he was going to start breaking and running. And so by turn 3, that's what ended up happening, and we called the game because I pretty much ruled because he's crossed the river. We played 1 or 2 more turns after this, but he was basically just running off the board with all his infantry units, heading off that road that you can see to the east. And so that was pretty much the battle. That was pretty much the battle of... what is this town called? Mangerhausen. So It was definitely a victory. I would call it a minor victory for the forces of Brautenheim. The Forces of Morovia did take some losses. The infantry unit that you can see there off close to the road that is broken there, that has the black token on it, it actually lost a stand permanently because of the losses it took during this battle. None of his other units took any losses. None of my units took any permanent losses. We roll for that as per the campaign rules I wrote. And that's pretty much the battle. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short little after-action report of our Dunderland campaign. And stay tuned, because we just played turn 3, and I'll give you an update on that, the moves that have progressed, and also some more after-action reports. So thanks again, guys, for listening. Give me a thumbs up if you like the battle report. Tell me what I can do better, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.